Let me try to put all this in context for you. I like omelets. I mean, I really like omelets. I could eat an omelet at every meal. I like omelets better than sex. Not really, but you get the point. I like omelets. You can't make an omelet without breaking some eggs.
Sheesh. Thanks, Senator John Kennedy, for that disturbing and very disturbing image and for ruining sex for so many people. Sheesh. We did not need to see that or hear that image or whatever from this man. But yeah, that was Senator John Kennedy basically brushing off those complaining about the price of eggs, which has gone up even more since Trump's inauguration due to his terrible policies so far. Because remember, Trump promised to bring down the cost of living, the cost of groceries on day one. And none of those things he has accomplished. Okay? But it turns out the policies that he has implemented so far has only driven up the cost of everything. And the only people who seem to be benefiting are corporations and his billionaire friends. So that's basically where we are. And now that I have gotten that out of the way, hopefully the image. So let's talk about Donald Trump and his terrible tariff situation that has now become such a humiliating blow on him, and he's calling China, he's calling Chinese President Xi Jinping, and he's basically sending his phone to unread. He's not replying Donald Trump. He's not taking Donald Trump's call. And he's just like, I'm not in a hurry to get to speak to this man. And why is Xi Jinping angry? He's angry because Donald Trump decided, all this tariff, China. So the promise of all the tariffs that he said he was going to implement, and supposedly he made good on those promises by charging Canada and Mexico 25%. And even though they had a deal, they had a trade agreement, okay? The USMCA had a trade agreement that Trump did, that Trump signed, agreed to. Too bad that the distraction that Trump created this time around only showed just how truly weak he is. Because when he imposed a 25% tariff on Canada and Mexico, who, like I said, already have a trade agreement going that Trump himself upgraded when he was first in office. He then went on to impose a 10% tariff on China. And China was like, for what? For what? Okay, I'll see you 10% and I'll raise you 15%. So China basically imposed their own retaliatory tariff, 15%. Because who doesn't care about anything? It's China. Who doesn't care about the people of China? It's China. China doesn't care if the people are going to starve to death on account of the cost of living due to the tariff and all those things. They don't care. Okay? So after China also slapped their own retaliatory tariffs, Trump realized that, I've been backed into a corner, and Trump has been looking for an opportunity to speak to the Chinese government ever since. And the Chinese government, Xi Jinping, is like, I just don't have the time to talk to that loser right now, okay? I don't want to talk to him. He can take a number and wait in line. Can you imagine? Do you know how far you have to fall from grace for the Chinese president to say, no, I am not taking Donald Trump's phone call. I am not in a hurry to speak to Donald Trump. But this is what Donald Trump is doing. Like, he's really destroying America's image. And it's not even as if America always had like the best image, the best portrayal. But American allies have been the ones defending America. American allies have been the one trying to push a positive image about America. And for Donald Trump to go after America's allies like Canada and Mexico, the rest of the other countries who are allies are now looking, we are next. And as a result, people are losing interest in protecting America, okay, America's image, because they have now come to realize that no matter the relationship that they have, each countries, no matter what relationship they have with a current US president, all of that can evaporate when a different person takes office. And that is not a good feeling. Like at this point, America can no longer be trusted. It is just the fact. America can no longer be trusted. Donald Trump is a bully. You know what I mean? And one thing that is typical of playground bullies is that when they get a pushback, when somebody decides to like push back, that's when they like, ooh, they get scared. They're like, oh, okay, that's when they retreat. So immediately Canada pushed back. Not only did Canada push back to America, Canada also pushed back to Donald Trump's puppet master, Elon Musk. Okay? Did you know that the Ontario government, Doug Ford, was in the process of canceling a deal that he had, a $100 million deal that he had with Elon Musk Starlink to provide internet for remote areas of Ontario? Yeah, Doug Ford was like, we're not only going to retaliate towards Trump and America, we are also going to retaliate towards the person who is basically influencing a lot of the things, a lot of the policies that he's making right now, and that person being Elon Musk. So we are also going to retaliate. And they were really to like cancel, okay, the Starlink contract. And you know what was going to happen, because these things usually have a way of a domino effect, okay? You think it was going to end there? Do you think if Elon Musk had the same, agreement or contract, Starlink contract with all the other provinces, do you think that those premiers would not have canceled? They absolutely would have, because this is the one thing that has united Canadians a lot more. Canada, for the most part, are usually united, except for the election or whatever. But when it comes to the election, when it comes to politics, this is the one thing that has united Canada, and they were willing to go all the way. You have premiers of different provinces talking about imposing tariffs on red states, because citizens in red states do not feel the impact of the tariffs. It's not going to work. So you have to really take the fight to them and make sure that they feel it. And Canadians were ready. And that's the thing that some people did not understand. Canadians, they were ready to feel the pain. They were ready, but they also know that you cannot bully us and get away with it. We are going to stand with our government. There were some fringe videos talking about how this is going to greatly impact Canada. I saw an idiot who made a video basically saying that Canada, if the United States follows through and Canada follows through with the tariff situation, Canada was going to become Mexico with the snow. I was like, that is so stupid. But I'm not even surprised. A lot of these people are paid to come and make videos that are misleading, to kind of to scare people, to make Canadians feel like, oh my gosh, especially when you say, oh, I'm Canadian, I know the truth, I understand tax and tariff and all this stuff. Yeah, it was stupid, okay? Both countries were going to feel it. Even Trump said it, that both countries were going to feel it, okay? For Trump to tell you that, because he doesn't tell the truth a lot. So for him to actually admit that both countries are going to suffer for the tariffs and the implication, that says a lot, because that man does not tell the truth a lot. So anyways, and obviously he has now blinked, he has now caved, and he is now giving 30 days extension. We all know what's going to happen. That 30 days is just enough time, is to give people enough time to forget, because he's going to do more crazy things. He's never going to go back to addressing the tax thing. And now, basically, everything that Canada was already doing and things that Canada were already saying they were going to do is what he's basically caving on. Like, it is so crazy. Anyways, that he basically caved on. So he got nothing new, just headache, and just the realization to those who are still slow, that he's a bully and he's empty and he doesn't think things through. That's it. That's all. Okay. But in the meantime, China is not taking Donald Trump's call. So let me go ahead. There's this article that I saw and I wanted to read it. So this article says President Trump continues to push his agenda on tariffs and immigration. China responded to Trump's sweeping tariff with a counter tariff on certain American imports and an antitrust investigation into Google. Meanwhile, Secretary of State Marco Rubio said the administration will consider an offer from El Salvador to accept deportees from the U.S. of any nationality. Can you imagine? So El Salvador, this just goes to show you that there are so many people who are willing to still bend over for whatever they feel like they can get. El Salvador is basically offering to take immigrants whose country of origin rejected. So they're just going to take them. I guess when they put them through whatever, they will eventually find their way back to their country. So yeah, China is not taking Donald Trump's call. China is telling Donald Trump, we are not in a hurry, and China is taking actions. Somebody says no, China cares. However, they have been moving away from depending on America for a good deal of their imports. They will source the goods. Obviously, they don't care. If they cared enough, they would have responded, or at least they would have taken Trump's call. The fact that they don't take Trump's call, that means they don't care. And it still goes in line with what you're saying, that they are moving away from depending on America. So that shows they still don't care, because if it was that important, if a trade relationship between America, if they cared enough, they would have reached back to the US and contacted Trump and tried to see a resolution to the situation. So they don't care. But good luck to China and good for China. And I love the fact that the Chinese government was like, okay, so you only imposing 10%. I'm going to impose 15%. And somebody says China is fed up with America's BS, and a lot of countries are. And I think this has been an eye-opening situation for a lot of countries, especially countries with trade agreement with America. This has been an eye-opening situation, because at the end of the day, they are going to feel like, okay, if American government of the day tells you something, if you enter into an agreement with American government of the day, do not trust the words of the American government of the day, because tomorrow when somebody else takes office, there is a likelihood that that person is not going to honor the agreement that had already been in place. It's not even about updating the agreement or whatever. What Trump is doing is basically canceling the agreement. What's even more crazy is the fact that he is the one who signed the agreement. And now you have him in video saying, who signed this agreement? He doesn't even remember that he was the one who signed the agreement. It was his agreement. The USMCA was his agreement. No. So the rest of the world is now going to unite under the notion that you can never trust anything Americans say. You can never trust a deal that America makes, because tomorrow they can change their mind based on whoever is in office. And that is not a good business strategy. It is almost as if this person was sent to basically destroy America. It's like Trump was sent to destroy America. Like all the things that he's doing, it's not even helping. It's how is this going to help? This is going to hurt America both at home and outside with American allies, the people who have protected America. He doesn't understand that, for example, the US aid that he just recently canceled, yeah, the US aid help countries, poor countries and whatever. The reason why that is important is that the reason why countries that are wealthy, why it is important for countries that are wealthy to help other countries is that Americans do travel to all these other countries. So if there are diseases out there and Americans are traveling to these countries, guess who's going to bring diseases home? Those American citizens. They are going to bring diseases home from other countries. So when you, as a wealthy nation, support, healthcare and all these other immunization and vaccines and all these things, even help poverty related issues, do you know what's going to happen? It is going to curb those diseases from coming to your shores. Okay? So it is a no-brainer. I see a lot of MAGA celebrating. At the end of the day, America is going to lose. They're going to end up losing more. Like, it is so crazy and it is so wild to me as a concept. But the rest of the world is definitely moving away from America, for sure. They don't trust America. They don't take America's word for it. And that's actually pathetic. But yeah, I wanted to quickly drop this here. Let me know what you guys think. I will be back later. I'll catch you. Bye.